Well, good day everybody. Welcome back to the channel. You know, there are, on some occasions, I get little packages in the mail, sometimes not so little. This is what I call an internet care package. Stay tuned. Well, this particular internet care package is from one of my viewers, James Copeland. I appreciate this, James. He had emailed me asking, hey, I have some little things I want to send your way, and would you be interested? And I said, sure, I'd be interested. So, this is a fake unboxing because actually I've already, I've already cut it open, so we'll just pretend like I'm slicing it open. All right. I like the reusing of newspaper for packing material because not only is it, economical and thrifty and it's good to recycle, but I get to actually read the Wall Street Journal, dated, what is this? November 15th, 2019. Fantastic, thank you. All right, we got some stuff in here. Well, first of all, we have a letter, and it looks typewritten, and as I look at it a little closer, I do believe this is typed on a thermal typewriter. Yes, indeed. Okay, James says, Dear Joe, this is dated November 22nd, 2019. Enclosed is the thermal calculator, manual paper, plus a few other goodies I found while putting this together. There's a notebook from the Spam Museum, everyone needs one of those, and a pencil from the Blue Swallow Motel in Tucumcari, New Mexico. It's a truly wonderful 1940s motor lodge, and the owners have done a great job keeping almost everything, period. Well, he goes on and gives a great rest of his letter. Thank you very much. Well, let's take a look and see what we got in here, shall we? Well, let's start here. We have a card that says, WLHA, your music and malarkey station, Lakeshore 64. Well, that's cool, the big 64. This is an AM student station in UW-Madison, Wisconsin. It's now an international streaming station operated by the Alumni Professional Broadcasters. Well, that looks pretty cool. And I'm definitely going to have to tune into that station because the idea of music and malarkey sounds pretty interesting. WLHA, Big 64. All right, let's go to the next item. Hey, cold or hot, spam hits the spot. Wow. Oh, it's a spam-themed journal book. Yes. You know what? I could use this book to record all my breakfast meets. Yeah, I could document all my breakfast meets right there. Fantastic. Okay, this looks like it goes with this. So let's unwrap it. Yes, more of the Wall Street Journal, November 15th. Fantastic. Ah, Canon. Very cool. Little plastic case, and it looks like there is a manual I will pull out. Let's see here. The Canon Pocket Printer TP-7. There's the owner's manual for that. Let's pull this baby out. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Isn't that cool? One of the things that I find interesting about this particular manual is they have it written in 5 different languages, and each language has a particular section of the book. So you just, like for English, you just stay on the top part and you have all the instructions for that language instead of having it split up into different pages. That's interesting, and I haven't seen that done in a while. And then, of course, there's all your example problems and everything. Well, let's get to it. This is a TP-38 thermal roll paper, an old legacy pack of thermal roll paper used for this calculator. All right, isn't that kind of nifty? What is this? About 1.5 inches wide. The roll is about 3/4 inch fat. That's pretty cool. Originally costed 75 cents, huh? That's neat. Okay, the calculator. Well, let's see. It apparently has batteries. And there they are. There is a jack for a special type of power connector that has a little corner bevel on the connector. So it's a special cord, which we don't have, but it runs on batteries. So pocket printer. Okay, so there is an on button right here. There is our display. We can clear it. Let's see, let's just do some numbers. Plus, equals. Then you can just arrow up the paper. Interesting. Well, it's not the darkest imprint in the world, but it's readable, definitely readable. That's pretty cool. Little thermal printing calculator, and I like the size of it. You know, it's very palmable, not really much bigger than a lot of the other pocket calculators of its era, which I don't really know what its era is. Made in Japan. It's 2 watts, consumes 2 watts. So yeah, very cool calculator. So basic functions here, you have your basic 4 functions: multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. You do have square roots. It does do memory functions, and you can clear memory, and there is a clear and clear enter, and does percentages, and there is an all clear. It must be for the memory or something, the little reset button there. Very cool calculator. So I was curious as to what this G key did, and what it turns out is the G key is a graphing key. It'll graph numbers between 2 and 99. In a variable length little bar graph here. You can use it to graph the results of your calculations. So I've just put in a couple numbers and I've just hit the G button and it prints them out as little bar graphs. There is this tab key, and if you press it once, you'll have a little symbol that says 0, and that is 0 decimal places displayed. If you press it again, it'll say 2. That is, it'll display the numbers in 2 decimal places, fixed. And if you press it a third time, it'll go to plus, which means it's a floating decimal point feature. Okay, I just did a little test where I took the number 56, I took the square root of it, and then I multiplied it back to itself. And of course, it comes up with 55.9999, which indicates that it does not have scientific accuracy. It has a little round-off error, and that's common with a lot of these kinds of calculators. Okay, when you first turn the machine on with the on/print button, the word print will be located in the display, and if you push that button again, the word print goes off, and now the calculator operates as a normal display-only calculator, and the printing mechanism does not work. So this is how you can kind of conserve paper and only print when you want it to print. Hit the print button again and turn the printing feature back on if you want to. Okay, there is this hashtag or pound symbol, and this is actually for entering numbers on the tape that aren't used in the calculation. Say 12.02/2019, and I hit the pound symbol. So you're going to have basically a line here that's not going to be, the numbers I've entered aren't going to be used in calculations. They're just going to be a reference. So you can, for instance, use it as in this case, I've December 2nd, 2019 as a date, or you could use numbers that refer to maybe a stocking number or whatever, you know, that relates to your calculations, for instance, item numbers or whatever. So it's kind of a little data entry field that isn't used as a numerical calculation. What a great surprise. I'm going to enjoy the spam-themed notebook here. I'm going to have to document all my breakfast meats in that. And of course, this Canon calculator is really rather unusual. I was thinking here about the usage mode for this calculator, and because it is so handheld and it has the really narrow thermal paper and graphing capability of graphing numerical little horizontal bar graphs of quantities between 2 and 99. And then it has the little hashtag date symbol. You can enter in numbers that aren't used in calculations, like a reference number. I can imagine that this was probably used handheld, for instance, if you're back in the 1980s or 90s, imagine working in some warehouse or some kind of thing, and you're inventorying things, you might be able to use that pound symbol, enter a stocking location number, and then maybe put in there the quantities or whatever. You know, I could see it as a kind of a accounting, bookkeeping / inventorying kind of calculator. Very small, very practical for portable use, not the kind of machine that would be ideally set up for a desktop application, but the fact that you have this little tape that you can tear off, and then you have a record of all the things that you counted up or wherever you were at. So kind of a portable, mobile printing calculator. You know what I think about when I see these kind of devices? These were built for specific uses back in the day. This is obviously before the era of the smartphone. I mean, we've only had smartphones for about 12 years as of 2019. There are people that worked in jobs that use these calculators. Small, portable, thermal printing, handheld calculators. You go out onto the factory floor or some warehouse or inventorying things, and you have this paper tape record of it. Before we had wireless automated data collection like we have in the modern industries now. So it kind of interests me if there's anybody out there in the audience who used to use this kind of a portable handheld printing calculator in some kind of a business application. I'm really kind of curious as to hear your experiences. What was it like using these things? You know, every one of these kind of calculators has their own unique little kinds of data entry, how you do constants or, you know, percentages and all that, and operating the printing display and using the pound symbol to enter non-calculation numbers for like stocking numbers or whatever, location numbers. I'm just curious, did any of you guys ever use these? And if so, tell me your story down below. I really would like to hear it. I think it's important that we have a record of using these kind of old devices. Until next time, stay creative. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.